I think there's a lot of good and a lot of bad in telling someone they need to spend an hour a day, because some of us, after about 5 minutes, we don't like our religion anymore. So then what do? So I think a person should decide how much time they want to dedicate to God. However, I think a person needs to be responsible for that when they tell other people, well, I've dedicated my life to God. Really, how much time is that exactly, your life? 90 years? Have you dedicated exactly 90 years straight to God? Or have you dedicated maybe 9 minutes here, 9 minutes there, 9 minutes there over the course of 90 years? Or 9 minutes over the course of 90 years. I've met people like that. Pretty much like buying fire insurance. I'll just sign up for this program so I can die and go to heaven, but I really don't have to do anything because I already paid at the gate. But some people actually care about their relationship with God. Some people actually want to have a relationship with God. However, that may not be who God went to first. In the story of Jesus, that is the story of Jesus. The people that Jesus went to first rejected him, and he brought in his scope. That's the story of the wedding party. And I had a whole day to think about this on a day that everybody sits around and goes, well, my family doesn't love me, and I didn't get this, and this didn't happen, and this isn't going to happen. This is what birthdays are like for most people. Yeah, some people have a great day and they're amazed. Usually they say, oh, I don't usually have birthdays like that. So everyone's had a birthday where they felt rejected, neglected, insignificant, and for me, it's always a good day just to plan on feeling like that and start the day going, I have no expectations. So anything that happens is a surprise and a blessing. Well, to think about the rejection that Jesus had, Christians love to think about Jesus' rejection, not because they care about Jesus' feelings. Nobody cares about how it felt to be Jesus and be rejected. Nobody does. I don't care if they say they do. No one cares. We don't know the guy. Well, what do you mean you don't know? Well, we don't know the guy in the flesh that was being rejected. We know the guy that we believe in that's, huge and godlike. But we don't know the guy in the flesh who was having the bad day on the cross. And even the people that did know him couldn't handle that aspect of it and fled. So we love the concept of Jesus being rejected. So if we have a bad day, we can say, well, we must be good Christians because people reject us. Sometimes it's because we're jerks that people reject us. But we love to hold on to it. And then if you raise the bar even more, public ministers love the fact that Jesus was rejected. We love it because we get rejected all the time. And we could always say, well, we must have had a great evening because everybody hated what we did and rejected us just the way they rejected Jesus. Well, in all fairness, people didn't always reject Jesus. Sometimes they actually embraced him. Sometimes they actually got on their knees and worshiped him. So being rejected is not a barometer of spiritual success on either side. I want to really examine the human side of Jesus being rejected. That according to him, he came first to his own people, and he was rejected. There's a whole chapter of woe to you. And it's all directed at Jerusalem. It's all directed at the Hebrew people. And he was saying, and it's not the same woe to you that he was directing at the Pharisees. That was the judgment. He was saying, my gosh, if you had just given me a chance, what I could do for you, what I could be to you, what I could spare you from, what I could love you through. And he wept. He wept for his people. But he continued to reach out and branch out more and more to reach as many people as possible in his short life. The other passage of Scripture that Jesus quoted was, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own home amongst his own people." And again, Christians love to quote that. I don't get along with my family because a prophet is not without honor in his own home among his own people. People at my church hate me because a prophet's not without honor except, in his own home amongst his own people. We have a chicken exit for just being sucky people, is that we don't get along with anyone because a prophet is not without honor. Well, the problem is Jesus did say it, and Jesus did mean that it is highly likely that if you have any spiritual gifting, you're going to be very well respected except by the people that are very close to you. Now, the people really close to you are going to ignore you, deny you, laugh at you, or just get used to you and really not get it anymore. That's why missionaries traditionally go really far. That's why evangelists tour. That's why music ministers tour. Because, generally speaking, that is a spiritual reality. So here you have Jesus telling story after story about how he's going to be rejected, how he's going to be hurt, how his people that serve him after he's gone are going to have the same experience, that they're going to be hurt, that they're going to be rejected. And then you have a day, and everybody has one. Everybody has a holiday that they dread, the holiday that teaches them exactly how alone they are, or how bad their relationships are, or how much they hate their family. We used to call that Thanksgiving. And you know what I'm saying? Everyone has one. Well, you add to that the spiritual component that Jesus' entire adult life was like that. That Jesus gradually reached more and more people and had less and less friends and supporters and family. And ultimately died and reached the entire human race for all time, but he did it alone. So it's fascinating, very sad, and to be honest, a little scary. Because we each have to evaluate what we call important. I have walked a fine line for the last 6 years in this ministry because I have been so rejected on so many different levels, in so many different ways, at so many different times, by so many different types of people, that it would actually get to the point where it would be better for me never to leave my home, because there's not a single type of person in any category that will automatically like me. Just like high school. But I said this last night, that I got an email from someone the other night that said, 99% of the people feel this way about you. 99% of the human race don't like me. Someone told me that. Someone wrote me that and told me that. I was like, okay. Well, we were at dinner tonight trying to figure out what 1% of the human race is. How many people would that be? Is that like, I don't know, 600 million people or something like me? Hot dang, I'm famous. Whew. Glad I saw that. As long as you've got math on your side, you can feel good about yourself. 99% of the human race hate me. It's okay. I hate 99% of the human race. We're even. I'm kidding. We're filming this. I love you. I love you, YouTube. So, but seriously, we have to evaluate every day of our lives the conflicts in our lives. We have to look at them and go, is this a conflict that I've caused? Is this a conflict I've caused? And is it a conflict that I've caused for good, and the conflict is a necessary byproduct, or am I just a troublemaker?